Hello world, this is Wolfstar Games. It's Anton, and welcome back to more Robotics Notes Elite. Last time we got into a little bit of a scene with the Frau and Kaito, talking about the Frau's mother, and I did a little bit of speculating of how her mother could be tied with the murder of Kimijima-ko. At least I think so, anyway. Nose itch. I think it's my hair, because I have my ceiling fan going, so my hair is just kind of blowing around a little bit. But anyway, we also got into a scene with Akiho, Subaru, and the Robot Doctor building GUNBUILD-1, putting the thigh on, using the big crane that they have. And last we actually left off, we were left off in the robot clinic, so that's where we are now. Akiho has been working really vigorously these last few days. She spent all of yesterday putting together the robot. We came to the robot clinic first thing in the morning today, and she's now building the robot's head. I'm moving on to the head now. Alright, and that's going to be a lot more complicated, I feel. She's heating and pounding metal plates to bend them into the head shape, though she's not very good at it. I mean, she's an amateur, but, you'll learn by doing. At least it's starting to look kind of like a head now. It's pretty big, so she and Doc are both silently immersed in their work. There's nothing in particular for me to do. I mean, not that you really do anything, Kaito. By the way, I still haven't told Akiho about the call from Misane. That's actually understandable given what she had to say. I mean, Kaito hasn't told her anything about what he's been doing. So she would just be a little lost of why Misane even talked to Kaito in the first place. She called me, deets aside, yet she's been ignoring her sad little sis. Yeah. It's like, they really need to talk. And even if it is for just a little bit, it's like Akiho would really like that. I'm sure she would. Akiho would be devastated if she knew. Yeah. I shouldn't tell Akiho about the Kimijima reports anyway, so this might be for the best. I mean, she's so focused on building GUNBUILD-1 that, for her to know about Misane calling Kaito, it's like, it could distract her from her duties, It's like, and she would just start wondering what what Kaito and Misane talked about. I mean, sure, it's like Kaito could tell her that they talked, but given the nature of their conversation, Kaito wouldn't tell her about that, so Akiho would wonder what they talked about, and that, of course, would distract her from her building the robot. And as a result, that could reflect poorly on building it. So, at least that's my thought process about it. It's like, what was that? The Roadrunner? it just like one little meep. Just then, I hear a car horn from outside the store. It didn't sound like a car horn to me exactly. It's just like meep, just one little meep. Meep meep. When I check outside, for some reason I find Subaru standing there. Hi, Subaru. I mean, what are you doing here exactly? Aren't you worried that your dad will find you? He's looking around, checking to make sure nobody else is near. Oh, I don't think I read. Yeah, maybe he did. No, I did read those. For a second there, I thought I didn't. It's like, I don't know why I'm all of a sudden distracted. It's like, I just talked about Akiho possibly being distracted, and I become distracted.
そんなうかつな真似はできませんよ。父さんに知られたらまずいですから。
Yeah. He then looks straight at me.
先輩に話があってきました。
What about?
ロボワンのこと？違います。
Okay, not that. Then what about then?
少し抜けられますか？ここで話していると目立ちすぎるんで。
So you want to talk privately? It must be tough having to move around in secret from his old man. I mean, trying to keep a secret from really anyone, especially something like this, it would be difficult. Subaru got in trouble for acting in secret to begin with, yet here he is continuing to do so. Derp. Why the derp at the end? I'm so confused. We distance ourselves from the robot clinic and walk to the Outlook Park nearby. I don't think we've been here before. I mean, I don't see there any reason being a... no, there is, actually. Doesn't hurt to check, right? The TNSC Giant Rocket Launch Station. Oh, no, that's Subaru. A facility for the assembly and launching of giant rockets. We recommend viewing the rocket launches from this park. JAXA. Thank you, JAXA. And that should be the only thing, yeah. So the launch station is just kind of a hop, skip, and a jump away from where we are. Alright. Oh, before we really get into this, check Tweepo real quick. What? What are you going on about, bro? Katsuba is going to start a new series next week. More thin books will be coming out. I have to get that just right. Okay, Gishine's throwing some shade here. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. I almost did the wrong voice. Offsides? Is that good? I can't believe I don't know, even though I love soccer that much, that I've watched all the past series. She loves soccer. I find that actually kind of surprising. What are fireworks? I could not see them. Well, of course you can't see them. I can reply to this one. My brothers like Katsuba too. I gotta tell them. Okay, so just one I can reply to. It's a kind of illuminating light. Sort of? It's kind of like a bomb. Not really. It's a big colorful thing that makes a loud sound. It's very pretty. This is very true, so I'm going with this. Okay. Back to Subaru. It's actually just an open area made for watching rocket launches. In the distance, you can see the TNSC rocket launch site. People don't really come here these days, which makes it the perfect place to talk while avoiding the eyes of others. Got it. Subaru and I slowly walk side by side across the spacious lawn. The sun is shining bright, so just this little walk is making me sweaty. Really? He sweats way too easily.
で、なんか話があるの? JAXA からの支援のことです。
Oh yeah? What do you think about JAXA wanting to support our efforts?
それはアキちゃんが断ってもう終わったはずでしょ。
I mean, as the saying goes, it's not over until the fat lady sings, so... Things could change.
JAXA の担当の人、天王寺さんでしたか。まだ諦めてないみたいですが。
Well, of course not. It's like, Nai is a very, very straightforward, to the point, and she knows what she wants, and she knows what Akiho's goal is, and she wants to support it, but she doesn't know Akiho like we do. So it's like, I think in order for Akiho to get more comfortable with the idea of JAXA really overseeing things, is for her to get more comfortable with Nai, get to know her more.
ああ、あの後も何度か来てるよ。
Akio said she introduced herself to Michi on the day of the festival.
僕は天王寺さんの提案に全面的に賛成です。
You are? Okay. Care to divulge the details of you being in support of Nai's proposal? Tenoji Nai's proposal: cease production on Model 1 and begin building a Model 2 from scratch.
ただ、立場上あまり大っぴらにはそれは言えませんから、それで先輩に話してるんです。
Right.
何それ？立場上って？僕はロボ部では幽霊部員でなければならない。父さんにもう一度バレたら感動ものですから。
I mean, the whole notion of, of a parent disowning their child, it always has baffled me. It's like, how exactly does that work? Ah, that's why.
スバル君ってさ、実は父親のこと好きでしょ？
I mean, I'm sure he does, but at the same time, he's also scared of his father.
家族を嫌いな人のことは軽蔑しますね。
Okay, well, we know where he stands with his family. Even if his father is very, very strict and bullheaded, Subaru loves him.
僕は別に漁師になることが嫌なわけじゃないし、父さんの言い分もよくわかります。漁師以上にやりたい夢がありましたが、それも諦める決心がついたんです。
Made up his mind, huh? I mean, sure, Subaru decided for himself, but at the same time, he's, complying with his father, kind of out of fear. So that's not really deciding on his own terms. Not really. Sure doesn't look like he has. Yeah.
だからこの夢、いえ、あえて趣味と言いますが、この趣味をこっそり父さんに隠れて続けるのも高校卒業するまでです。
Okay, and once you graduate, then all bets are off?
今まではさすがに大っぴらにやりすぎましたが、これからは少し自粛してバレないように楽しむつもりです。できるだけ静かに活動していきたいんですよ。
I mean, I applaud his efforts to keep it a secret, but you can only keep a secret for so long. Eventually, either his father's gonna find out that Subaru's been sneaking around, or he's gonna find out from someone else.
これ以上親を悲しませる気はありませんからね。というわけで JAXA 支援の件について僕は前面に立つ気はありません。
You don't plan on being upfront about it. So, how exactly?
黒幕でいたいって俺みたいな考えするんだね。
一緒にしないでください。
Sorry, man.
あの JAXA の美人なお姉さんに英雄と呼ばれた気分はどうだった？
いや、茶化さないでくれますか。正体を明かす気はありませんかな。
No intention. Alright, I guess. No, wait. It would be intention. It's like he's putting an accent on it. Intention. Intenzione. His face goes bright red. He's clearly shook. What's with the little laugh at the end? This is why I just can't stop teasing him. I mean, sometimes you gotta tease those who are younger than you, and it's just kind of natural. I mean, I do it myself, really. It's like I tend to tease a couple of co-workers who are younger than me.
なるほどね。君としては今のロボを作り続けるのは反対だと。それで俺からアキちゃんを説得しろと、こう言いたいんだ。
そういうことです。
Okay. I mean, how exactly is Kaito gonna convince Akiho, though? Oh, wait a minute. Oh! I've never noticed before! The dialogue box has, like diagrams within it. Oh, that's an interesting little detail to the dialogue box. Huh. Of course, I can't make out the little bit of Japanese that's thrown in. Or maybe it's just squiggles to make it look like to make it look like it's Japanese writing. But yeah, never noticed that before. That's actually kind of cool.
試作1号機は問題がありすぎる。
I mean, he did point some of those issues out to Akiho, but Akiho wasn't really listening to him. Not really. I mean, sure, they added the wheels onto him to give him a little more mobility, but so far that's like the only thing that Subaru brought up that was implemented onto GUNBUILD-1.
それに何よりかっこ悪いです。
Really lame. Okay.
俺ロボのことなんてこれっぽっちも興味ないからな。
You've said this far too many times, Kaito.
そういうこと語られてもあっそうって終わっちゃうんだけど。
Yeah. It's like I could say the same thing to Kaito about Akiho wanting him to help. It's like she always asks him to help, but that goes in one ear and out the other. As for things looking cool or lame, that's up to personal taste. True.
現実的な話をしましょう。
Okay. How do you want to look at this then, Subaru?
東京万博にエントリーは終えていると部長は言ってましたが。
It is already complete. Okay.
当然、審査があるのは知っていますよね。
Of course there are.
そういえば、その辺のことは全く聞いてないな。
I mean, I literally didn't care, and up until recently, I didn't even think we'd make it in time.
一般参加は今回の万博だけの特別ルールですが、規定では2ヶ月前と直前に審査が入ります。試作1号機の完成度では、その審査で落とされる可能性が。
Okay. So we need to take extra care in building the robot so that we don't get disqualified from the inspections.
落ちたらもう出られない？
I mean, that's what it sounds like what Subaru is explaining here.
え
え。Yeah.
この審査で一番重要なのは安全性です。
Of course. All about safety. I mean, especially with GUNBUILD-1, since it's a huge robot, you'd want to get everything down perfect so that the people around the robot are safe.
試作1号機を動かした場合、転倒の危険性がかなり高い。
Right, yeah, and it could topple over on onto someone standing nearby it, which of course would be bad.
つま先とかかとに車輪を装着することでそれもだいぶ軽減されるはずではありますが、それでもまだ危険です。
Right, yeah.
いっそクローラでも装着した方がよっぽど機動性は上がりますよ。
Crawlers? What are crawlers?
クローラ
Crawler? The way he said that. Crawler?
無限軌道のことです。ガンバムにも出てくるでしょう。足が戦車みたいになっているやつ。
Yeah. Caterpillar tracks. Yeah, like that's what's used on, you know, as Subaru says, tank treads, you know, on tanks. Anyway, Caterpillar track, a continuous track that appear on tanks. Vehicles with these tracks move forward by the rotation of the caterpillar tracks. Also called a crawler. It's like I had to say it as Kaito said it. Also called a crawler, track belt, or a tank tread. Okay. So I've never heard it called a crawler before. Never. Tank tread, yes. Caterpillar track, yes. Not crawler or track belt. Never heard it called those.
ああ、キャタピラのことね。
Just go with it, Kaito.
いいえ、クローラです。
Because they're just that, yeah.
なんか違うの？
キャタピラはキャタピラ社の商標ですから。
Caterpillar Incorporated. That's a actual company?
クローラと呼ばないと無知な人間だと思われて恥をかきますよ。
Interesting. You know, maybe Caterpillar Incorporated is just a fictional company within this game. Maybe there actually isn't a corporation called that in the real world. Why sweat the details? Who cares? I think Subaru just made his point in that he does care.
豆知識を披露して自慢したいだけか。ミッチーみたいだね。
I don't know about that. I mean, Michi and his pro-tipping is, like I said, nonsensical. A lot of it, most of the times, to me. But on the other end of that, you know, with Subaru, you know, he carries himself to be very mature. He actually seems more mature than Michi, now that I'm thinking about it. The fact that he wants to be a robot engineer, you know, just kind of support his, you know, kind of being with how he is as a person. At least that's how I look at it.
失礼な。
How rude. How rude.
How rude.
何も知らない先輩に一般常識を教えてあげただけですよ。
I mean, Kaito may lack some basic common knowledge, yes. I mean, Kaito's, I don't know, it's like trying to deconstruct the characters' personalities. It is a little difficult when I'm playing through this for the first time. So I'm just trying to like really analyze and understand the characters as I go along here. So trying to get into their head is, of course, going to be a little difficult the first time. And I feel like at this point I have a basic groundwork of what their personalities are like and, you know, how they think and feel. I mean, and over time that could just, you know, manifest into a more cohesive picture of what these characters are like.
そんな呼び方のことはさ、どうでもいいんだよ。それより何の話だったっけ？
What were you talking about again? Huh?
安全性という点で万博出展の審査には通らない可能性が高いという話です。
Yeah. It's like, get back on track, Kaito. It's like...
二足歩行ロボットにおいて転倒するというのは一番恥ずかしいことです。それを解決できないような開発者に大きな顔をして万博に出る資格はありません。
Point taken. Okay. So we have to iron absolutely everything out so that GUNBUILD-1 does not topple over. And the wheels on him is just one step into getting him to not topple over. We definitely need something else, maybe several things, for him to not topple over. That's a little harsh.
転倒の可能性だけじゃなく、もう一つ、試作1号機には重大な欠点があります。
Have we talked about this serious defect before?
コックピットがボディに内蔵されていること。
I do remember Subaru talking about the cockpit before, I think.
今、世界中の企業で作られている巨大ロボットは遠隔操縦が主流です。
And aren't piloted. Okay. So, Akiho is going against the grain, going with what's not normal. I mean, I don't know, maybe she could be a pioneer in making a robot that can actually be piloted.
オペレーターをロボに乗せることに合理性は全くありません。
I mean, sure, but you know, it could be an amazing step forward when you really think about it. I mean, it would change the game of how a robot can be operated. Is it just me, or is Subaru getting more and more heated?
アキちゃんはロマンって言ってたけど。
Part of the dream, yeah.
そんなくだらないものを守るために審査に落ちていたら本末転倒ですね。そもそもそのコックピットに乗るのは今のところヤシオ先輩が最有力候補なんですよ。
Yes.
転倒して死んでもいいんですか？
That would be a very big safety issue. It's like if it topples over and the pilot inside like gets injured or even dies, that could be grounds for like a lawsuit. Whoa, hey now. I just felt my butt pucker up when he said that. TMI, Kaito, TMI.
少なくとも安全面における改良だけはもっと突き詰めるべきです。でないと怪我人が出ます。
まあ、俺は乗るつもりはないけど。
Except we know from the very beginning of the game that he winds up piloting a robot, and that robot has to be GUNBUILD-1, a.k.a. GUNBUILD.
部長はヤシオ先輩を推していますが。
Yeah, and no one else.
お断りだね。そりゃアキちゃんと勝負して俺が負けたなら潔く乗ってもいいけど、それよりもスバルくんさ、大切なこと忘れてるよ。
What is he forgetting?
スポンサーの意向ってやつ。
I'm trying to think back. What's Sumio's intentions exactly?
つまり大徳先輩を事故を起こす可能性の高い欠陥品のロボに乗せるわけですね。
Oh, that's right. Not Subaru, Sumio wants to make Juna the poster girl, basically, of not just being the sponsor, not just for as the sponsor of being Space Candy, but also being a poster girl for the robot and having her pilot it, not Kaito. Yeah, that could be an issue.
そういうことになるね。
大徳先輩は素人です。
I mean, she's not even an amateur. She's what would you even call her? I mean, she's just right now kind of there, just being kind of like a support group for the robot club. At least that's how it seems anyway.
勘違いしちゃいけないな。俺だって素人だよ。ロボ1でオペレーターをやったのはキルバラシステムを導入してたからであって。
Right, yeah.
ロボに乗るのが俺でなきゃいけない必然性なんてどこにもない。
Well, what if the program that's put into GUNBUILD-1 happens to be the kill ballad program again?
だから自分は逃げて女子に危険な役目を担わせると。
Yeah, that would make Kaito look very much like a prick.
クズですね、先輩。
I mean, he put it much more nicely than I did, but yes. Alright, you know how to talk. I'll give you that. I mean, Subaru's a smart guy. So, yeah. I feel like laughing out loud. Why not do it? It's like, come on, Kaito, do it. Laugh out loud.
本音を言うとさ、俺、アキちゃん以外がどうなろうとあんまり興味ないんだよね。
Right, he's the only one who really cares about Akiho is Kaito. Like, Akio needs more supporters. Whoa, okay. I took that last one too far. Then why do you say it? I just mean that I can't make light of Akio's feelings, that's all. And you just did. Of course, I don't want Juna to die. It's like, neither do I. It's like, I adore Juna. If nothing else, I don't plan on taking Subaru and Jax's side on this. And I don't want to talk about the Robot Club's direction in secret, behind Akio's back. I do get that Subaru and Jaxa are probably in the right on this.
それじゃあ何も解決せずに放置するつもりですか？事故を起こす可能性が高いのに。
I mean, Kaito can't really ignore what Subaru is talking about here. So,
アキちゃんに直接言ってよってことさ。
probably because she won't listen to him, and that if he tells Kaito that and all this, and Kaito talks to Akiho, that she would be more willingly listen to Kaito than to Subaru.
部長は感情的になりすぎていて、僕の話にも天王寺さんの話にも聞く耳を持ちません。
Yeah.
だったら俺の話だって聞こうとしないよ。
He's trying to bank on the fact that Kaito has known Akio for far longer than Subaru has or Juna has.
アキちゃんってのはそういう子なんだ。
本当にロボ部の活動に興味がないんですね。
He really doesn't. Subaru's gaze is scornful and merciless.
それほど詳しく見てきたわけじゃありませんが、ヤシオ先輩と部長の関係性がいまいち理解できません。
Okay. So he's baffled at their relationship? I mean, I guess I could kind of see why he's kind of baffled. Because, you know, Akio's so incredibly into robots and, you know, Kaito isn't. So it's like, how... So it's like, to Subaru, it's like, how are they such good friends?
先輩は部長にすごく甘い時もあれば、やたらと厳しくて冷たく感じることもある。
There's that too, yes.
どっちなんです？何がしたいんですか？ヤシオ先輩はなんでロボ部にいるんです？
To look after her?
突っ込んでくるな。
Yes, no mercy. Subaru's not throwing any punches here. But, no. He's throwing a lot of punches, actually.
俺は最近スバルくんがすごく熱い人間だってことに気づいてきたよ。
Well, of course he is.
僕のことは今はいいんですよ。
Yeah, and Kaito's trying to change the subject, isn't he?
それともはぐらかすほどの何かが裏にあるんですか？
知りたいなら勝負する？
いいですよ。 100銭でも200銭でもお相手します。
I mean, like we've seen before, Subaru has the face of perseverance. Not to mention, he has a ton of patience. I mean, to go 200, up to 200 rounds at least. It's like, that's a lot of matches. Alright, this technique doesn't work on Subaru. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's like, it works on Akiho, but Subaru has a completely different makeup. Smile bitterly and gaze out at the TNSC of VAB in the distance.
俺はさ、
Yeah?
アキちゃんの保護者みたいなもんだよ。頼まれてるんだ。
He's actually telling him.
アキのことよろしくね。
ただその約束を守ってるだけでね。直接手を貸すことはできるだけしない。応援はするけど。
先輩って偉そうですね。イラッときます。
He's not being high and mighty right now, though. He's explaining to Subaru what he's doing in the Robot Club. It's like, so why is Subaru acting like Kaito is, not like telling the truth?
やっぱり君、熱い男だね。
Subaru? That's his name now. Subaru. Subaru lightly clicks his tongue, turns around, and starts to head back to the park exit. I stay where I am.
その調子でアキちゃんにぶつかっていってよ。
What are you talking about, Kaito? Akio is passionate in her own right. It's like she doesn't need someone else's passion. Unless it's the kind of passion that someone would want from the opposite sex.
案外うまく噛み合いそうな気がするから。
I speak to his back. But Subaru doesn't respond. That was kind of an interesting scene. It's like a sight straight out of Gulliver's Travels. Not something I was expecting to be brought up in a Japanese video game. Gulliver's Travels, a 4-part novel written by an Irish author, Jonathan Swift, in the 18th century. I've read a little bit of Gulliver's Travels. I haven't read all of it, though. It's mostly well known for the first part of the story, where the main character visits a country of minuscule people. Yes, it's a very political story. It's a political satire. That's what it is, and that's as much as I know of it. Aside from the fact that the main character Gulliver visits a country of little tiny people. that's all I really know about the story. Beyond that, I don't really know much about the story itself. So I would actually love to read the whole thing. It's like, I actually really enjoy classic literature like that. Under the cloudy but blue sky, a bunch of brawny men swarm around Gulliver as he lies down. They appear to be part-timers hired by President Sumiyoshi. Sumiyoshi? Why is he referring to Sumio as Sumiyoshi? Hired by President Sumiyoshi of the Space Candy Company. They don't seem too enthusiastic, but they're more than strong enough to help with this work. So it's not an issue. I catch sight of Doc among those brawny men. And Juna's in the vicinity? Okay, how's this gonna turn out here? Akio visited a bunch of local workshops around the island for help, but in the end, only Doc showed up. Seeing how he came all the way out here, he must have taken a liking. To her. Maybe that strictness of his is just a form of tough love. Yeah, I mean, and there's plenty of families out there that have that approach. As for Michi, the guy he's at loggerheads with? Loggerheads? I've never heard that term before. Well, he's holding down the fort at school. Sumiyoshi is as jovial as ever. On the condition that Juna presents her new kata in the future, he brought 2 cranes. 2 cranes? I don't know if we really need 2 cranes, but okay. Today's assembly work is attaching the robot's upper body and lower body. Okay, so we're doing more heavy work. Alright. After that, we go straight into the big event, making it stand. Akio told all members to be here, but I've only been watching from a distance, playing KB the whole time. She'll call you over, trust me. Today is legit heavy-duty work, so there's nothing for an amateur like me to do. Not that I ever help anyway. That said, I take a look at the robot in between kill ballad matches, and even I find myself kind of moved. Really?
まさかこうしてあのロボが車庫から出される日が来るなんて想像してなかったな。
Now the day has finally come for it to actually leave the garage. And actually be properly put together. This is a big moment.
そんな。
The first time I visited this hangar was a month before entering high school. Akiho was eager to get on top of the matter, saying she wanted to greet her upperclassmen before starting school. At the time, the robot was already split into upper and lower body chunks. Both halves were laying in the hangar. Those very same halves are now sitting outside on the wide airport apron. They've finally been brought together. They put down rails, and the robot was set on big pedestals via the cranes. The halves are kept level while they work. After bringing them together, Akio starts putting the connector bolts into the waist section. I'm betting Doc's leading the charge. Without the old man here, there's no way this would go so smoothly. I mean, he's out of everyone here, he's the one who's the pro. It's like all of us who are part of the robot club are just amateurs. Even though I did say earlier that Juna is just kind of a support group and just, I mean, sure, she is, you know, sewing together Gunvarel's a scarf, which is a big help, but, you know, everyone will have a role to play in this club, so even the ones that are not part of the club, you know, like the robot doctor, any outside help is greatly needed, and without the doc's help, they wouldn't be where they are right now with the progression of putting Gunvarel together. Not to mention the use of the cranes. And of course, you know, having the sponsor helps as well. So, a lot of money is definitely going into building Gunvarel here.
あのボルトだけで、上半身を、その固定してるのかな。
I mean, they would have to be really heavy-duty bolts. So, I would hope so.
立たせたらぽっきり折れちゃいそうだけど。
I mean, that's a viable worry. And it's just like Subaru was saying that, you know, Gunvarel could topple over. It could topple over just trying to get it to stand up to be put together.
別に絶対折れるって言ってるわけじゃなくて、なんていうか、私の勝手な感想っていうか。
Any input is welcome, Juna.
あれさ、上半身はかなり軽いらしいよ。
Really? It's pretty light. How is the top half so light?
コックピットは空洞だし、側が単なる飾りだってアキちゃんが言ってたし。
Oh, right. I kind of forgot about that. Cockpit is hollow, armor is just decorative. It's nothing heavy duty.
飾り。
Even the arms are just tin plates bent into shape, so they're hollow inside, just for show. No servo motors either. Okay, so are they eventually going to put servo motors into the arms or no? They wanted to use aluminum to make it even lighter, but tin plate is cheaper, so they went with that. In other words, the upper body is basically a papier-mâché model. While the upper body has the engine, fuel tank, generator, and batteries, all the weight is in its waist. Right. It's like you would want the weight to be lower, and so that the robot won't be top heavy. So that's That's another step in making GUNBUILD not topple over, right? Having that weight be down lower and not up high.
重心がかなり低いからバランスは安定してるって豪語してた。
Oh, okay. If Subaru was here, he'd probably explain it in painfully minute detail. Yes, he would. I mean, he's the one who wants to become a robot engineer, so that would only be natural. He's playing hooky today because there are too many outsiders around. Right.
ちなみに純ちゃんさ、あれ乗る？
I'm taking that as a no. She shakes her head back and forth, tears seemingly forming in her eyes. Aw, Tuna.
でもスポンサーの意向があるわけじゃん。
Yes, he is. Which is not the best choice. Sumiyoshi has a huge body, so it's easy to spot him quickly even at this distance. He's talking to Akiho while she works. He's holding a tapestry or poster with the Space Candy Company logo on it.
ステッカーか。
It's like, how big is this sticker? Jeez. He's probably insisting on sticking it somewhere on the robot's body. Should go in the arms, I feel. That way it's not like a smack dab like in the middle of his chest or something. It's like... I'm just now having this image of like GUNBUILD, you know, like in the anime of it, where GUNBUILD is like, I will defeat you with space candy power. I mean, as our sponsor, that's totally his right. Yeah. As for whether Akiho will agree to it, well, who knows?
無理だよ。私怖いもん。
Oh, Chuna. It's like, I seriously just want to reach in and give her a hug. Tell her it's gonna be okay. It's like, you don't have to do it. Kaito, step up and take her place. She actually started crying. I mean, yeah, she doesn't really know robots. It's like, that would absolutely terrify her. And not to mention her, you know, robophobia. At least that's how I want to put her fear. I'm kind of amazed she was able to do karate with such frail mental strength. She's been doing that since she was really little, so that's completely different. Not that I don't understand how she's feeling. I certainly don't want to ride in that thing. Like hell, I trust a robot that Akiho made. But this is going to be a problem. If Juna can't pilot it, I'm next in line. Yeah. I mean, and you're the one who should be doing it. Come on, Kaito. Step up. That said, I'm not going down without a fight. What is he expecting here to happen? But then, who could Akiho get next? No one. No one. Actually, Frau might be a good fit. Maybe, but I feel like Frau would not go with it. I mean, I don't. I mean, I'm trying to weigh the pros and cons of Frau doing it, and I'm having trouble trying to come up with viable reasons why she would be a good fit and other reasons why she wouldn't be. And for me to do that, it would just take too long, so I'm just gonna move on here. If we could just force her into the cockpit, she'll naturally shut herself inside afterwards. Kaito. It's like the robot isn't like her home. It's like yeah, she's shut away in her home, but a robot is a completely different thing. Even if it fell over or caught fire, I doubt Frau would even think to escape. As a last resort, we could always stuff Michi inside of it. Michi. Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, he was the Robot Club's president 10 years ago, but he would not be an ideal choice either. And besides, isn't there like only so much space inside of the robot for someone to pilot it? Wouldn't Michi be too tall? Our delinquent teacher was the founding president of the club, after all. Yes. But that doesn't mean that would be a good candidate to actually pilot it. I heard that when Misane proposed the GUNBUILD project, Michi gave it the go sign as president. Sure, yeah, but he's just not the... I'm just repeating myself. He's not a good choice. Thus, Michi has the right to be the first to pilot the completed robot. Actually, it's his obligation.
よし、その手でいこう。悪くないプランだ。純ちゃん、もう心配いらないよ。君はあれに乗らなくていい。
Yeah, because you will. No one else.
本当?
Yeah.
ああ、俺に任せといてよ。
Yes. Leave everything to Kaito to pilot it.
ヤシオくん。ありがとう。ごめんね。足引っ張って。
Oh, Juna, you're not a burden, sweetie. You're not a burden.
気にしなくていいよ。俺が代わりに乗るわけじゃないし。
Yes, you will. It's like, oh, just this little look that she's giving. It's like, it's like my heart. My heart's breaking here. I feel like Akio's been bowing her head a whole bunch to the part-timers over there. I inch closer to the robot and try to listen in.
姉ちゃん、ちゃんと指示してくれよ。
すみません。
で、配線はこっちでいいわけ？
マニュアルを取ってこないと。
じゃあ早く取ってきてくれ。
はい、ちょっと待っててください。
ああ、もうクレーンの準備はしてもいいのか？
はい、お願いします。
あのさ、ボルト残り1個どこ？
あれ、どこ行ったかな。
She's having trouble trying to find the manual. It's like, we need that manual.
組み立てまだ終わってないのか？クレーン本当に出していいのかよ？
ちょっと待ってください。
それより部長さんな、ステッカーを貼る位置だが、やっぱりこう胸のど真ん中の黄色いところにドーンとだな。
I knew that's where he would want to put it.
いやいや、ダメですってば。
Oh, wow. What a mess. It's like everyone's just scrambling.
手伝った方がいいんじゃ。
I mean, maybe for right now they should just stay out of the workers' way. It's like, I feel like they would just get in their way if they tried to help right now.
だね。とはいえ、俺たちこのロボのこと何にも知らないんだけど。
Heck, even Akiho kept us in the dark about today. If we stepped foot into that chaos and asked to be taught about taught about stuff, things would just get more savage.
よし、俺ちょっと買い物行ってくるわ。
ヤシオくん、逃げるの？
Sure seems like it.
純ちゃんも一緒に来てよ。
Oh?
だって、でも、アキホちゃん一人だけ残すなんて。
いいからいいから、荷物持ちで必要だから。
荷物持ち？
What stuff do they need to carry? I ignored Juna's confused look of guilt and start walking off. Huh. Well. I mean, this is getting to be quite the production. It's like not just the Robot Club members, and not just Akiho building the robot, but getting like a whole team of outsiders to help put it together. So I was not expecting that. But then again, it's like without Doc and without Sumio, we wouldn't really have the means to do so otherwise, right? So, but yeah, I think I'll stop it here for now. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed watching, and thank you all for watching as well. And if you enjoyed the video and want to see more, like, favorite, and claw that subscribe button to become part of the pack. And as always, everyone, I hope you all have a great day or night, wherever you may be.